My goal in life is to waken people up to their potential and what they're capable of doing. If you are somebody that knows there is more for them in life, if you're somebody who, like me, used to sit behind an office desk but had this feeling in my gut that there was more, then this is your sign.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Thinking into Results. It is awesome to be here. Let me just see if you can see me all. There we go. Excellent. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is good to be here. It is Thinking into Results, part of our Ignite program, and we are here live. And of course, tonight is a special night because what we're here doing is we're sharing. We are paying tribute to Bob Proctor this week, as most of you know. And if there's one main thing that I heard shared in his celebration of life ceremony and all the things that I know about Bob, the big thing that he loved was giving. So what we're doing tonight is we are inviting everybody who is in the tribute to be kind of a little fly on the wall tonight. And I thank you as my clients here who are all coming in from all over the world, giving permission and being okay with that and wanting to share. And we will get into some of the best teachings tonight that Bob has taught. I'm going to very much actually take my inspiration off the Born Rich series that we're streaming as part of the tribute. And today's session was really good. So I'm going to kind of delve into, I suppose, that main concept that Bob left here as the greatest gift to us all, and that is understanding the mind. And for all of you guys who are watching us inside Facebook, and it is awesome to have you here. We're also live in YouTube. I think we're live in LinkedIn. We're live everywhere that we could possibly be. Because there's another lesson that Bob taught me, how to become omnipresent. And when you start to understand what omnipresent means, that's being everywhere at the one time. You know, that is a concept that we teach. That is part of universal law now in the world that we live in. Because it's so quickly changing, we're able to now do these things and express even, you know, this wonderful content in so many different ways. So I am so honored and so grateful to have you here. For those of you that are watching us, but what you can see is you're going to go through and be part of what my clients go through. Now, obviously, most of you know I am Bob Proctor's #1 global consultant, and what I teach is the exact same step-by-step process that has been time tested for I don't even know how long and has created more success for people than anything in the world. And that is what we teach, is a step-by-step process, a repeatable formula. And everything that we're learning inside the Born Rich series, everything that we read in any books, if you listen to any teacher, they're all talking about the same thing. And that is that there is a scientific process to achieve any result in life that you want. But of course, you can listen, and people, teachers, you know, me, Bob, even other people that are in this industry, we're all giving you a perception of our understanding. And that's why mentors are so incredibly powerful, because that's why I chose Bob Proctor. And I'm so grateful that I did and got those precious 6 years. Because I went to the best. I went to the master thinker. I went to the man that had been studying it the longest. And that's really, really, really powerful, because there was nobody else alive currently. Okay, it's now not the case, but there was no one else alive that has studied and understood this in such a way that he can repeat it and pass it forward to other people. So what you guys are watching tonight is just a little glimpse of a teaching session that I do every single week with my clients. For you guys that are in here, we already have 100 or so in, and you guys know what's going to come over the next good hour and a half. Now, what we do to start every single session is, of course, wins. I can already see a stack of hands up. So every time we start our coaching call, and we have hundreds of people from all around the world tuning in for this, what we always start is with listening to wins, celebrating success. Now, I love this part of the call, mostly because I never know what's going to come up. Now, we just did a couple of weeks ago a workshop, a sales psychology workshop called Path to Agreement, where I was actually teaching my clients. It was only done inside our Ignite program. And I was teaching them the 6-step process to selling. And it's a process that Bob, of course, taught us. So I'm very excited to hear. I wasn't here last week, guys, and I know, and the guys told me that the wins were exceptional. So I'm excited to see if there's been any increase in sales and in your businesses. That would be awesome. But as always, I don't know what's going to happen. I can't wait to hear. And this usually goes on for a good half hour. So if you're watching us, sit back, relax, embrace what you're about to go through, take notes, listen, and don't be too alarmed if it kind of seems a bit like, what just happened to me? Because you're dipping into a high performance mentorship. And you've got to understand that, I'm here serving my clients. So I'm going to do that. And I hope that everyone enjoys. So let's get into it. Who is up first? Kitty, I see you. You're looking fabulous. Come on ahead and tell me.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay? Yep.
I can indeed. How are you?
I am very good. So I'm going to start off really quickly because I know it's always very timed here. So my one this week has been TIR and having used a mentor. And because the last 2 weeks, there has been a lot of external stuff, personal stuff that has taken me away from it. Mm-hmm. And I got advice last week from Kim, and it was, do not put down the tools that are going to get you through this. So on Friday night, I started my meditations again. I picked up my books. I started my study. On Saturday, I had cancelled all my clients. On Saturday, I had started my treatments again. And on Sunday, I done my first mindset session with a group of dancers for the competition, and first time in 5 years. And it was absolutely amazing. And my vibration levels went through the roof. And, it's really, really helped me.
I love it.
Help who I have to be. And there's just 2 things I want to say, right? There's 2 statements from this week that have come out from Bob's tribute. And my study from this week, you don't get rich doing certain things, you get rich by doing things in a certain way. And it's been really, really powerful for me this week. And the other one was when Sandy Gallagher had said, when a pupil is ready, the teacher will come. And she has arrived. And I'm looking forward to getting on the Ignite. I'm just ready for Ignite now. I'm ready for Ignite.
Awesome. And you're looking so good. I'm so proud of you, Kitty. Great job. Brilliant work. Okay. Now, guys, you all know the rules. Okay. We'll let Kitty away with it because she was so fabulous. But we want 30-second wins, okay? Carrie, yes, come on ahead.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
I am just on here very quick to share my win. I had set, I know Kim, you knew about it, I had set a challenge for February to run 2 miles a day for action or for cancer research. And I was so unfit. I hate running, but as Kim always says, do something that challenges you, because if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And it was just like, know that I've completed it. I've done 56 miles, around 56 miles in February. And whilst doing that, I've raised about 1,400 so far for cancer research. So it's been incredible. And just, as you always teach as well, Kim, the biggest payoff in achieving a goal, it's not what you get, but it's who you become. So yes.
Love it. Love it. What's your goal? What's the target to raise?
My target?
Yeah.
Well, it was 1,500. So,
Excellent.
but it's done. It will be done. I actually, well, to be fair, I started off the target with 500, but I just kept increasing it. As you said, the goal, once you get it, you just increase
Good.
it, then you increase it. So we'll just keep increasing it.
Awesome. Love it. I would go for 2,000.
Right, we'll do it. It's changed. 2,000. It's done.
Good. Excellent. Love it. Okay. Next up, Judith Luton, go ahead.
Can you hear me, Kim?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm a struggle there. Kim, I am actually coming to the end of my TIR and Ignite journey. And over the past few weeks, I've been getting really sad, thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Because I'm not going to be surrounded by these amazing people and you and Bob. And you know what? The past week, I've just been like so calm and contented and happy knowing that I'm actually finishing, because it means that I've achieved something really, really special. Like, there was so much love in my family, but now there's this deep, deep love. And I haven't changed. I've transformed as a person. And I'm really, really looking forward to the rest of my life. So I want to thank everybody on here as well, because when you surround yourself with these amazing people, and you, Kim and Bob, your life will just change.
Love it. Love it. So good. I'm so proud of you. And you know what? It's the best thing that a mentor could hear. Because what that means, now it's not the thing that a business person wants to hear. I'm like, come on back. Why are you leaving? We've got alumni, but we'll make contact. But for as a mentor, the best thing that I can hear is that you feel so confident in yourself. So I'm so proud of you, and you're going to be awesome. So keep up the great work. Fab. All right, Emma, go ahead.
Okay, just a few personal wins. So firstly, I've got more heightened awareness, and the study is starting to click, which is very important. I had an operation, would it be 4 weeks on Monday? I was told I'd be off work for 6 to 8 weeks, but I'm able to go back 2 weeks early, which is amazing. So I go back to work on Monday.
Good job.
And because of that, I decided to book myself a massage for Thursday, because I've been sat doing not a lot for the last 4 weeks, so my body needs it. So yeah, all very personal stuff. So, but amazing.
Excellent. Good. Excellent. Thank you so much, Emma. Perfect. Sinead Welsh, go ahead.
Hi everyone. Now I could be here longer, but I'll try not to be. So I've been working with Kim now for about 2.5 years. And my mindset, I've been working on my mindset every single day. I am confident. I'm a leader in the digital health space. I came to Kim with an idea about creating an app. It's came to fruition. The app exists, the product's at market in the Apple and Google Play stores. I'm now finalist in the Institute of Directors for my app. I'm a finalist in the Accelerate Her UK nomination finalists. I'm a finalist in the Women in Business 2 categories for Outstanding Innovation and Excellence in Technology. I've just been announced as a National Health Service Clinical Entrepreneur, one out of only 7 in Northern Ireland and 170 across the UK, and that's as appointed by Professor Tony Young, the clinical lead for innovation at NHS England. I've got gorgeous kids here, as you can see too. And we are getting angel and investment ready to literally scale nationally with our app. I'm doing a TED Talk in August, and I have got paid events for International Women's Day to speak. So I couldn't fit anything else in, but I'm happy.
I just love it. So proud of you. I mean, you're just going to clean up, Sinead. There's no doubt about it. You are incredible. So I'm so proud of you, and you are the perfect example of being a product of this material. So we back you, and I love it. So keep it up. Good work. Thank you for sharing. Kenneth, go ahead.
Hello, Kim.
Hey.
It's been a while since I've been on, but I'll be rapid for you. Yeah, so I had a bit of a dip in circumstances, as you know. We've had discussions about it. That's why the Dynamite family is absolutely beautiful. Everybody surrounding me. But yeah, the phone's been going again. Business is coming in. This is with my website down. I got in touch with Paddy. Paddy's building me a landing page. So things are looking phenomenal. But I'm on tonight as well because Born Rich is where it started for me. Bob helped me to recover from addiction, and then I came and joined you, Kim, and you've helped me skyrocket, take my business to somewhere else.
Oh,
So, yeah,
I love
thank
it. It's so good to see you, Kenneth, and I just send you love all the time. So keep it up. You are incredible. Great
Thank you.
job. Okay, Claire, go ahead. Claire Nutt.
Hi, Kim. So we both have wins this week.
Woohoo! Hi, Gavin.
Yeah. So we've had a great week in Light this week. We sourced air purification systems that we're going to sell, and they are arriving hopefully next week and going out to our first customers. So we're super excited. Yeah.
Fab. I love it. That moved fast. I love it. Good job.
So this week I've had a few wins. I kind of shared a few weeks ago that I was having informal conversations with my current employer about potentially doing the sector job that I already do and taking that forward. So I had a lovely meeting on Friday, and the topic was danced around in the meeting. So I raised the question at the end, have you thought about who's going to coordinate this when I leave? And it wasn't how I played it in my mind, which was fine. And I kind of give my thoughts and my ideas about that, and then left the meeting. And on my way home, and in my mind, I just kept thinking, this is done. It's going to be done. I don't need to do anything more with this. And I got a phone call on the way home basically to say they're all exactly on the same page and I just need to sort out the finances. So it is done. And then today, I had one of those from the sector reach out to me directly and ask me how do they go about procuring my services on a one-to-one basis after I leave. So client number 2, done. But I think the biggest win for me has been when I have been sharing with people I work with and people that I know what my intentions are and to leave and to create my own consultancy. One, the feedback I've been receiving is amazing, and everybody still has more belief in me than I have in myself. But those conversations are beautiful because those people actually want to help me. Yeah. And they've given me so much advice, so many contacts, and given me so much information that's just going to enrich everything that I'm doing. So I am very grateful for everything that I'm being sent to help me achieve my goals, because the process has just been beautiful. It's been lovely. So thank you.
So good. Thank you so much, guys. That is awesome. Love when there are a couple wins. This is so good. Okay, Tanith, you're up. Now let's get these shortened, guys, because there's 14 hands up. So 30 seconds. Well, let's go.
Mine is another couple win. So for some of you that don't know, most of you do, my hubby is out living the wish fulfilled for 3 months in Portugal. Myself and the kids joined him. It actually wasn't what I imagined it to be. It was great in the respect of that's his and I's dreams life. But anyway, cut a long story short, the night before we were leaving. So Kim, you talk about everyone buying their dream car. For me, it's a caravan. Mm-hmm. So cut a long story short, on the way to the airport traveling home, we had stopped off at a campsite because if the kids are going to come, I want them surrounded by other children and living a free life, blah, 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 blah. So we were walking around the campsite and we checked the Wi-Fi for work and all the rest of it. And he turned around and he said, Tanith, I was always going to buy you your caravan anyway. And I think this is the perfect opportunity. So from coming from a low vibration, being over there thinking this doesn't match our family's needs at this time, we can actually both achieve our dreams much quicker. And he still gets his villa and we still have the caravans and can go between the two. And it was just a magical moment, Kim. I just looked at him and I went, you get me and I get you.
Oh, I love it. So good. So good. Thank you so much, Hugh. I can see you blushing. Love it. Okay. Nicole, go ahead.
Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone. So very quickly, I have just received a branding back from my C-type gold business, so I can start moving on that. Awesome. When we wrote the letter to ourselves a year from now, and I said I wanted to open it on a beach in Ibiza and spend the month there. It's not going to be Ibiza, but I've booked 3 weeks in Mallorca for August.
Nice.
And the last one is I've added another income stream to my business, which is teaching apprenticeships for the government, and it's quite lucrative, and I'll get a percentage as well, and that'll help fund the C-type goal. That's it.
Excellent. Great wins, Nicole. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Brilliant. Okay, Brigitte, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Kim. Between Saturday early morning and now, the couple wins I got. First of all, I was just doing some being a person of increase, helping somebody with oncology question, and turned out the person's a counselor who does not do grief, and she has a few people work underneath her, and she said, "Oh, now I know who sends to for all my grief clients."
Excellent.
So grateful. And the other thing is, I got in the land of fact, it seems like food poisoning, but it's actually turned out allowing me to release a lot of fear, have more clarity on what it is I love, and actually receive a visions that up until now I say I want it, I did not have the vision. So that's my win.
Oh, beautiful, Brigitte. Brilliant. Great wins. Thank you so much. Margaret, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
So from surfing away where everything is just smooth and I'm sailing, I have had a bit bumpy ride the last few weeks.
Okay.
And I want to celebrate it because of I noticed my attitude around it. So yes, I have manifested a few more things I like, but also things have been falling a bit apart, or the result isn't exactly as I expected them to be.
Yeah.
And I found it so interesting to observe, okay, so how did that happen? What happened to me? And just my attitude around searching for how it happened without judgment, and learning to understand this. I know there's something with the laws I need to tap into, but I'm just grateful for, even though the results are a bit confusing, I can see the connection. Okay, this is what I've done. And I like that, even though it has been a vulnerable time, I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Awesome. That is a great win, because what you're learning to do is to take feedback and pivot. And when you have a good attitude, when the results are not what you want them to be, I personally make it into a bit of a game to kind of like beat the universe, in the sense of, I'm not going to get sweat. I'm staying true. And every time you do that, you get rewarded. So out of confusion precedes clarity. So you got to remember it. Confusion precedes clarity. You're now going to move into a space where you allow more to flow in. So you'll always get rewarded for a good attitude. So great job. Thank you so much. Okay, Christine, go ahead. Good to see you.
Hi, Kim. Good to see you too. I have a few here, Kim, so I'm just going to throw them at you.
Brilliant.
Now, my wins work-wise, a few weeks ago, I realised just out of the blue, counting in my head, that I was a six-figure income earner, something I never thought I would say. So I started to figure it out, how much I was getting a day, and that made me a six-figure income earner. So, right, need to be 7 now. Looked at what I needed to earn a day. Didn't scare me. I thought, I know how to do that. So up the ante, and now I'm looking to earn 30,000 a day and put me in the 10 million bracket. That scares me a wee bit. Don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's a hell of a step up from where I was. And a guy that I had been looking to train with and work with, I've been trying to get hold of him, and I was persistent with nice messages to him, whatever, and he kept apologizing. I'll get back to you, I'll get back to you, I'll get back to you. And he rang me one day, and for a guy that was so busy, spent nearly 2 hours on the phone with me, wants to come work with me, and we're going to work together. He's going to train me, he's going to work with me in my business. Such an amazing outcome to that conversation, which will lead me to maybe relocating to maybe Portugal. So that's another one. Now, a good friend of mine, lovely lady, trying to get her to come listen to you. She has been, but she loves going out and whatever. She actually came back to me and said to me, I've rescheduled my holiday so that I could stay at home and do the next training with Kim. That was a massive win for me, and I was absolutely delighted for it. And then, what was the other one? Yeah, some people would say that I've had a nightmare of a weekend. It is what it was, and I just got on with it. And my family came to me and says to me, how have you coped with this all weekend? Because there's numerous things, one on top of the other. I am sitting here, pajamas. Do you like my new pajamas? See the gold
Wonderful.
And I says, listen, go use all away and leave me alone. I need some sleep. Go onto YouTube and listen to Bob Proctor. Then you'll know where I'm coming from. And then the last thing then is, so that's my kids going to look at Bob Proctor. My best mate's coming to work with you. And my self-image as well, my daughter has said to me, you're turning into me, mommy. And I says, why? She says, look at you, you look fabulous. I went and got the hair done. I've been getting myself treatments and things, and I've booked myself ahead that I'm looking after myself. I've reared 6 kids on my own, and now I have I'm spending money on myself and starting to look after me and love me. And
Yes.
life's good.
Love it.
Sorry, longer than 30 seconds, but thank you, Kim.
Oh, you're so welcome. Tell me this. Remind me, what lesson are you on?
1.
Oh, I can't wait. What a journey. Brilliant. Thank you so much. So good. Okay. Kira, go ahead.
Hi, this is my first time on, so it's still nerve-wracking. That's one of my wins. My second one is, so you say to like do and be the person you want to be whenever you reach your goal. So basically my goal is to work with you. I have had loads of mental health issues throughout the years, but I've always found manifesting and gratitude have always helped me. So my friend was going through a really hard time the past few days, and loads of things, just thinking negative, so it all spiraled to more and more bad things happening. So basically I voiced noted her and said, you know what, this is why this is happening. You need to change your thoughts and think about it this way and different things. Thought she might punch me in the face because she was in such a bad mindset and say, you don't know what you're talking about. But then a few days later, she actually videoed me, and she wrote down everything I told her to do as advice and wrote down bulletin points and said that every time she's feeling like negative and stuff, she looks back at what I told her, and it's like now doing them, and it's actually really, really helping her. So basically it's kind of like I'm doing kind of already what I want to do, one person at a time, not on a global scale yet, but I'm still very still doing it and helping people from like a smaller section right now. So it's pretty happy with that.
You see, here's the thing, you can only really, you help each person at a time. Exactly. So you're starting, and that's just awesome. So great job. Love it. Thank you so much for coming on. Good to hear from you. Rochelle, go ahead.
Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone.
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fab. I just want to share my biggest win. I realized I just spent my first year in your program.
Woohoo!
I say it's my first year because what I've experienced during the whole year is such a massive shift. See, I'm a joyous person, but now inside I'm calm. I'm confident. And that's just the biggest difference in my life. And I want to share another one. I'm so grateful for that, Kim. Thank you. And now I understand the Irish accent very well.
Excellent.
At the beginning, when you were all speaking, I was just putting my head closer to
well, my French is no better.
Now I understand you all, and that's amazing as well, because I didn't know if I was going to do it, and it's done.
Brilliant. Tell me this, do you understand Kenneth?
Yes.
Well, then we're all good. We're all good.
Kenneth is Scottish, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Brilliant.
No, I want to share a second one, please. I had COVID. And I spent 2 weeks in bed and was not afraid at all about that. But when I started to be better, you just offered us this wonderful 2-day seminar, the pass-through agreement. And I had not been live for 2 weeks and did not show myself, sorry. And when you did that, during the first hour, something just clicked in my head. And I realized that I was depriving people and myself, not being afraid to sell.
Love it.
And I didn't know it before. I just didn't know it before. And when I realized that, hearing you, what I did, there was a pause. And I picked up my phone, went live, and said, okay, I'm back and I want to offer more and I just want to serve you more. And I said, come to me because I have a special offer. And you know what? My agenda is full. I did not work during 2 weeks. The online thing went alone, okay, because it was recorded. But I did not work for 2 weeks in February, which is the shorter months.
Yeah.
So I didn't earn what I was earning before, but I doubled it in just 1 week. And this is just the thing I understood that day. And I'm I cannot figure out how I did not understand this before.
I know, but that's like saying you try to forget how to ride a bike. And that's the cool thing about awareness. You kind of go, what? How did I not know this? So, brilliant.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
You are awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. Brilliant win. Okay, we're going to get through. No more hands up. We're going to go to Lindsay.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. So as you know, the whole calmness of mind, I just wasn't getting up. I was thinking, oh, it's going to take my energy. Oh, I can't do that. I have too much energy. I can't do calmness of mind. It'll steal my energy. And Kim, it's dawned on me, I can do it. And I know when to leverage it. I know when to leverage it as well. And I done it for my race in Portugal, and I relax more. I know how to do it. And I just wanted to let you know that it's dawned. I've got it. And I know how to do it. And I'm going to continue working on it. So thank you so much.
Oh, Lindsay, I just love you. Never change because you're awesome. But I love that you're such a bubbly expression and animated person. And that's you. And I love that. But I love how you care enough to realize, oh, I can use this in a better way that serves me. So awesome work. Really, really proud of you. Great job. Okay, Jenny, go ahead.
Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone. I've put my hand up and I'm a bit like, oh God, because I've only been on once before in the thingy question. So I'm quite emotional actually, and I put my hand up and I've made myself stay on. Good. Because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to articulate what's happened, but I'll give it a go. And I struggle with the Irish accents a bit, but I absolutely love it. So nice, Rachel, you made me laugh there, particularly some of it. I've been here about 8 months, and I love it. It really connects with me. But all of a sudden, I think I talked to you about me being in a very professional world as a physio. And I've really known inside I didn't fit in. I've talked about that before. That's why you're all here. But the other day, it's kind of all come together. And all of a sudden, it was like someone switched, you, Kim, and switched the switch in my head. And I'm not going to be afraid to be myself anymore. It's quite emotional. So on Monday, I had a live session. I just did me. Yes. And I just talked stuff that all of you would all go, yeah. But the world outside wouldn't understand. And I just was like, it's not about physical exercise, guys. It's about you understanding that to change physical pain, you have to change up here. And I did it, and I was so brave, and I didn't plan it. I just went with spirit. I just did it, and for the first time ever, I didn't go shit. Well, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have been like that. Sorry if I'm swearing. Sorry if I offend anyone. But inside, and I posted it. I did it, and I've not apologized to anyone or myself about what I did. And I feel such a relief. And you know what? I was like, I'm channeling my inner Kim. I'm just going to do it. So I did it, and it's such a relief. So I don't know if that comes across in anyone who's watching this, who isn't in this. Just trust your instincts, go for it. And I'm really feel a bit proud of myself. So thank you.
Yes, you so should be. You are incredible. Oh my goodness, that was the best win share ever. So thank you for keeping your hand up. There's no stopping you now, Jenny. I can see it. It has clicked and you know who you are. So I love it. Oh, so good. Okay, Sophie, go ahead. Or sorry, Sophia. Oh, I can't hear you. Unmute yourself there. There we go.
Yes.
Hello.
You hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone. I just joined the program and my awareness is every day a little bit higher and higher. So I'm learning. Today I went to the beauty therapist and we just had a chat what I'm doing. And I told her about my journey, about how being stuck with work. And then I got to YouTube and listened to Bob and then to Kim and then joining the Dynamite community. And she was like, yeah, I know Bob. And then I said, yeah, maybe you should Google Kim. And she was really excited. And I got even more excited for her. My mind was like, oh my God, I'm helping someone. And I'm more excited for her than for myself. It was so crazy. And yeah, really grateful for this journey.
Love it. Oh, so good. Such great energy. Fabulous. Okay, Anna, over to you.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
So I have a few. I received an iPad from my mom as a present.
Good.
I had a problem last week with someone, and I asked guidance for that problem in that day. And a little few hours later, a voice with Bob came in my mind and said something like resentment and guilt are both psychic diseases. And I find that video on the YouTube, do what he told me. And after I write one page, all the problems disappear.
Excellent. We'll just keep doing that then.
Yeah. And on 27 on February, it was my birthday. And I've been on mountains with my friend and my wolf. And on the exact hour when I was born, it starts to snow. And it's so nice. It was like a present from the universe.
Love it. Love it. So good. Well, belated happy birthday. Love it, Anna. Thank you. Okay, Kester, if you're there, go ahead.
Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm out shopping, but that will not stop me from giving my win. My win is just the level of awareness and understanding and the calmness I keep, going through every circumstance as it takes place, but at the same time, realizing who I am and I'm in control. So just that level of awareness alone keeps me going. So thank you very much, Kim.
Love it. Great job, Kester. Thank you so much. Okay, Andrea, go ahead.
Hi, Kim. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So I just wanted to share my win that I don't think you remember. I texted you a while ago about a premises that I was given a phone call about.
Okay.
So basically, the local estate agent was looking for a place for me for nearly 2 years. And he rang me up about this place. I've been writing about an address down here. And it's literally the shop 4 doors up. So I was like, yeah, it's on the same street. It has big windows. And I text you how much I wanted it to be, which was less than half the price what they go for. And he was like, oh, I don't know. So he didn't ring me up again until today. And he said the guy was eager to meet me, the landlord of the place. And I said, well, I'm going to ask for a rent-free period. And he said, don't ask for a rent-free period. There's loads of people looking. I said, no, I'm asking for a rent-free period. So I went in and I got the rent-free period till May, exact price, what I text you and Kerry Mulligan, exactly what I've been writing about. And they can't wait for me to start. So I'll be starting in May.
Woohoo! Well done. Great work, Andrea. Thank you so much. So good. Love it. Okay. And last but not least, Nicola.
Welcome back, Kim.
Hello. How are you?
Great, thanks.
So for a while, I have been writing out about the positive person that I want to be. And I've had loads of people recently say to me, "You're so positive." So everything I'm writing about is starting to come true. And we've been down to a one car between me and my husband recently, and it's been causing loads of issues with the kids, but we didn't know how he was going to get a new car. And I have been writing and writing and writing about it, and I put a time frame on it, and I just wrote February 2022. And yesterday, I didn't even realize yesterday was the last day of February. Yesterday, he went to pick up a new car, and he had upgraded from a Ford Mondeo to a lovely Audi.
Yes. Woohoo! And I'm not surprised, because my goodness, look at your self-image shift. You look so different. You like, and I don't mean in a rude way, but you look incredible. Like even like right now, like I've just watched you from the inside out change. So I am just so proud of you. Great job. And it always just comes at the right timing. So great.
You're the second person that has said that to me today, believe it or not.
Yes. Excellent. I would believe it.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. My goodness, all of these wins are just so incredible, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Let me just bring, there we go. Brilliant. So such incredible wins by you guys. I mean, I just love listening to it every single week. And for all of you guys watching and listening, my goodness, you must be impressed. You must be mind blown, and you're probably a little bit confused. And that's okay. But this is the beautiful process that, of course, Bob Proctor created with Sandy Gallagher, so that we could take all of those 60 plus years of research and understanding and turning it inside out and upside down. They put it into 12 succinct lessons. And if you just follow it, you're going to win. And the awesome thing is, I love hearing from you guys who are like, yeah, I'm on 2.5 years. Rochelle, I heard you say, I've just finished my first year, which tells me you're going into your second. And this is the cool part about it. It's the same process for every goal. Now, I want everybody listening tonight, whatever I'm going to teach tonight, whether you're here as a client of mine inside our Ignite program, or whether you're watching on wherever you're watching, or whether it's a recording, everything that I'm going to share tonight is about you. And you want, and what I always say is, you want to set an intention as you go into this teaching session. Every time I teach, I do it very much based on intuition, based on guidance of spirit. And what that means is, I intuitively work with my clients and intuitively pick up what I think you kind of need to hear. And what I've learned about the incredible universe, and it's great being in business with the universe, is that it does most of the work for you. But you've got to place an intention first. This is how you start to create an effortless life with ease, flow, and joy. You get the universe on your side, because the universe is always on your side. But you've got to accept that. You've got to understand that. And what I want to go over tonight is looking at what we looked on Born Rich today. Some of you may have caught it, some of you mightn't. It'll be a great synopsis tonight. But even before we go there, for you guys who are my clients sitting here tonight, what I would be saying to you is, we are just at the start of a new month, okay? And it is, you've got 30 days left of your current 90-day first quarter block. For anybody that comes into my mentorship, I am slightly obsessed with reverse engineering from any goal, so that I want my clients to know exactly what they're doing when they wake up, exactly the process, the routines, the daily disciplines, the weekly wins, the monthly milestones, the quarterly. We break it all down so that it's easy. because success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. We've got to start to become obsessed with the process, not the outcomes. So to you guys sitting in here, I'm saying to you, okay, we are just about to go into the last month of the first quarter. And you've got to check in with yourself. This is part of the monthly milestones. Are you where you want to be? If you're not, what's the cause? How was your concentration, your intensity? Because if you have feeling that you're dropping intensity, then you're going to drop your standards. And what will happen is you'll start to plateau. A lot of people around the world right now, this is the month that people just kind of die off. Started with great intentions, but then it kind of goes. And really, that's not understanding how to set and achieve goals. But what you want to look back on is your 90-day plan. Now, depending when you joined me, if you didn't join me at the start of the year, then you will not be doing this 90-day plan until you've set your goal and you started to create that. Of course, all of that training is in your membership site. You can go and get my 90-day 10-point dynamite formula. Okay, this is infamous, but I want you to go back and check where you're at now. So if you're moving on your 90-day plan, whether you've only started a month ago, now you want to be thinking, what do I need to achieve in this next month? Because for you guys who are my clients here, and for everybody really, anybody can make a decision that they're going to go for a quantum leap. Anybody can make a decision now that they're going to go and do better in the last 30 odd days than you've done in the first 60. That's possible. We heard here, I can't remember who shared it, but they were like, nothing was really happening. And I kind of missed 2 weeks, or you were unwell. That's what it was. It was Rochelle. She was unwell. She couldn't do what she normally did, but she came back strong and she was able to multiply it in 1 week. This is how you use this process. This is how you create the effortless way. So you want to, wherever you're at, whether you're right on target, for those of you who are on target and you're going, yes, I'm exactly where I wanted to be, great. And there's going to be so many of you that are there. What I would say to you is, what could you just stretch for the next 30 days? I can see Andrea smiling at me. Must be for you, Andrea. I don't know. But like, what can you all then, if you're feeling, yeah, I'm right on point, this is when you want to stretch a wee bit more for the last 30 days. Like, go all out. Make that decision. You know, we know that life is a game. You are all mostly entrepreneur athletes, as I like to call it. Most of you are in that position where you're creating your goal, and that you might be in sales, you might be in a product service, wherever you are, you may just be creating your goal. But either way, you've got to understand this and apply it to get the results that you want. Okay. Now, when I was thinking about what to teach tonight and what elements to look at, thinking about us starting a brand new month, I thought I would touch on a chapter that Bob always wanted to study, always was teaching me and other people, and one that he really was quite obsessed with, and that is the chapter inside Think and Grow Rich, and it is called the persistence chapter. Bet you everybody's going, yep, this call was for me. Look at all your faces. This is great. Okay. Now, we're going to look at this in a different way, in the sense of this is not, and remember what I always teach you, be obsessed with the process, not the outcome. So you look at feedback. So you should be reviewing the last 60 days. You should be doing that at the end of the week, doing that at the end of the month, looking at what has happened, but you do it from a neutral standpoint. You do not become emotionally involved in outcomes that are not going to serve you. Now, it's important to do the review and the, analyze and look at your productivity, your attention, your desire, all those metrics that we've talked about several times. But you've also got to realize that you can't get emotionally involved in it. And the key to success is persistence. That really I've certainly found has been the big thing for me, and it certainly was for Bob. Now, also inside your TIR book, you of course will have an article on persistence, and we're also going to be teaching a little bit around responsibility tonight as well, which is also in your participant guide. So you can reference those when you're going back and forth in your study in this lesson. But for now, what I want to do is open up with the persistence chapter. And this is straight out of Think and Grow Rich, which is fitting for a Bob Proctor tribute, because he, my goodness, my book looks so new compared to Bob's. I have a photograph that when I was with him one day, he gave me his Think and Grow Rich. And of course, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to rip it. And you're kind of going, And of course, what do? You think about the very thing that you don't want to do, rip it, but this is what paradigms do. So I'm like, whoa. And I took a photograph of his book and my book, and my goodness, they looked very different. But this book is the book that Bob picked up. He got a mentor. He told him what to look at. There was these principles of success. I always explain, what we do inside here, what you guys are studying and thinking into results is literally the course that goes with this book. Millions of people have read this book, but they do not know how to apply it. And of course, that's what's been teaching in the Born Rich this week, and that it's understanding and application that gives you the keys to the kingdom. It is the renewing of your mind we were hearing today, and it was just incredible. So I want to pop open to persistence. This is chapter 9. Now, I always love what the little subtitles were used by Napoleon Hill when he was writing these, because it helps you understand. It helps you understand what is persistence and why do I need it in my life. And it says here, it is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Now, did you understand what persistence meant before I even just read that out? There's so much learning, even in the titles. I'm obsessed with studying and trying to understand, what are they really trying to teach me here? Now, if I said to you, did you know that persistence is a sustained effort that is necessary, not just if you want to, that is necessary to induce? What does that mean? To bring from within. Faith. What is faith? Faith is a state of mind. Is the only thing that is going to conquer fear. And of course, most of us are held back by fear. Whether you're working with me or whether you're not working with me, I'm held back by fear. We're all limited by our own perception of what we deem as fearful. So what I want you to realize tonight is we're going into this not to go, oh yeah, I don't have persistence. Oh yeah, no, that's me. Don't come into it with that attitude. Always be mindful. I said at the start, set intentions, but not only should you set intentions before you begin to study, but you should set your attitude. Because it would be so easy for you to automatically just sit and go, yeah, and then what I'd be doing is actually feeding your paradigm. So like, you've got to even be mindful of what you're accepting and how I'm giving it to you. I never teach you like and giving off and these big bad paradigms and money blocks. No, I look at money beliefs. I look at growth and expansion, which is necessary when it comes from fear. It's all positively repositioning your thinking process in every situation. That is the key to success, ultimately. Okay. So what we're learning here in the title is persistence is a sustained effort. So it's an effort that you've got to sustain. Now, as we are just into the first of this next month, which is going to close out your first quarter, which is kind of like the first game of the year, like I teach you, when you're going into this last month, have you sustained your effort? Now, you and I know, especially for you guys who are in thinking end results and in this mentorship, when we talk about effort, we don't mean working hard. We mean using our higher mental faculties to hold the vision of the wish fulfilled. And trust me, that's usually harder work in the beginning. It gets easier in between, and then in the end, it just becomes automatic. You see, I often think about when people say to me, okay, but it's so hard to think positive. Well, it might be, but if you would just sustain in the effort of correcting, you would soon very easily move into a habit of that's just the way it is. Now think about this. Do you have to effort to think negative? Do you have to really focus your mind on thinking about all the problems? No, you do not. Your mind just goes, zoom. And depending on your vibrational state, depending on how much you've looked at it, it's like the more you look at it, the more it sucks you in. Because that's how the magnetism in the mind works. So you want to be mindful of what your attitude is when you're thinking about these things. So it's the sustained effort necessary. So that means you've got to do it. You cannot expect to just go hard at it the first month or focus in and be really dialed in everything that we're teaching in your daily disciplines, and then just let it coast in the last month. As I said at the beginning, these next 30 days could be the 30 days that you quantum leap. For anybody wondering what a quantum leap is, that is dramatically increasing your results. It's not just an incremental step. It's like, boom, look what just happened. It's like Rochelle was saying there, like she just took 1 week and doubled what she would normally do. Okay, so that's quantum leaps are these huge explosive jumps that people find really hard to explain. I've went through many quantum leaps. Well, for everybody listening tonight, this is the cool part. All it takes is a decision to make one. So for all of you guys watching me on whatever platform you're watching me, you too can decide to have a quantum leap. You don't even have to pay me if you're not in mentorship to even make the decision. How cool is that? So it all comes down to a decision. Now, you've got to understand what decision is, and then you've got to understand discipline so that you stay to your decision. You have to become disciplined. Discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and follow it through. You're committed to it. So there's other elements. This is not just easy and for everybody watching it, you can't just say, oh yeah, nope, that's it. I'm going to be a success. Boom, done. That will not work. Yes, you have to ask for it. Yes, you have to claim it. Yes, you have to see it done, but you have to create the thinking process that is going to be in alignment with the outcome that you want. And since you don't currently have what you want, then you can't currently have the correct thinking process. But we don't look at that as a negative. We just think, ooh, excellent. Okay, well, what do I want? And what would that thinking process look like? And then use these tools and these steps to install the new thinking pattern. But that takes persistence. In the times Margaret was sharing, it's been a wee bit bumpier for her. That's the feedback that she's been experiencing. But she's not coming on here. Well, let's be honest. If she was emotionally involved in that, she wouldn't even have come on. She would have probably not even come on camera. She may not have even joined the call. But Margaret has a great attitude. But Margaret, just like everybody else, has to deal with a thing called the law of rhythm, which states there will be ups and downs. But Margaret was well prepared because she persisted in the study to kind of like bulletproof her mindset. Doesn't mean she can't feel the bumps, but she's able to go, oh, I feel the bumps. but I'm not getting upset about the bumps. In fact, I'm going to affirm that by coming on live and sharing. Because what that did for Marga is actually reinforced her belief and faith in herself. Now, Marga, I don't know if you understood all that. I'd probably say that you do because I know you, but that's pretty much what happened. Now, when you go through bumpy roads, do you give thanks for it? That's the first thing you should do. Be grateful for the bumps, because if there wasn't a bumpy road, you wouldn't know what a smooth road was. So you really got to think about these things and go, how can I change my perception? What Bob taught today on the Born Rich series was ignorance is our only problem. So awareness can be the only solution, because that's the opposite to ignorance. Ignorance is when you don't understand. Now, nobody said that was necessarily a negative thing. I actually, because I like to change everything into a positive, I actually love when I realize I'm ignorant about something, because then I can decide if it serves me to become aware, more aware in that subject. So when I see gaps, when I see ignorance showing up in my life, when I see lack of understanding, like maybe I don't know something, then I seek it out. Most people go, oh, I'm scared. And that makes sense, because we're conditioned to be concerned what other people's opinions are. But of course, that's not living from your true self. That's living from your paradigm. Now, I'm kind of going off on one, but somebody needed to hear that. So persistence, let's get back to this. It says persistence is an essential factor in the procedure of transmuting desire into its monetary equivalent. The basis of persistence is the power of will. So I would probably say, as you're moving into this last month of the first quarter, you're going to want to lock into this persistence chapter. Now, there's a little persistence test, and it sometimes can really kind of make you go, oh, I don't want to do the test. But you should do the test. Just don't get annoyed about the test results, okay? Because I think there's very few people that would pass the persistence test, to be honest. So let me just bring these up. I'm trying to find the page. So I'm going to run down a list of things. And these are symptoms of lack of persistence, okay? You, wherever you are listening, just take a mental note how many make sense to you, okay? But don't cast judgment on yourself, okay? Failure to recognize and clearly define exactly what you want. Procrastination without any cause. Lack of interest in acquiring specialized knowledge. Indecision. Passing the buck. A habit of relying on alibis instead of creating definite plans for the solution of problems. Indifference. The habit of blaming others for one's mistakes. We're going to talk about that tonight. Weakness of desire, willingness, even eagerness to quit at the first sign of defeat, lack of organized plans, the habit of neglecting to move on ideas or to grasp the opportunity when it presents itself, wishing instead of willing, the habit of compromising with poverty instead of aiming at riches, generally absent of ambition to be, to do, and to own. Searching for all the shortcuts to riches. Anybody here, anybody watching us live trying to find the shortcuts? There aren't any, okay? Fear of criticism. Failure to create plans and to put them into action because of what other people will think, do, or say. This enemy belongs to the head of the list because it generally exists in one's subconscious mind where its presence is not recognized. So think about some of those symptoms. Can you resonate to any of them? If you can, then that's okay. Now you've got a gap that you know to close. What is that telling you? What is that stimulating thought? What is the paradigm telling you? Like, I always ask myself, what is the excuse that the paradigm is telling me to stay stuck? Like, ask yourself that. And for anybody watching going, what on earth is a paradigm? Do you ever hear that wee voice inside that is always trying to protect you? It's always trying to keep you in your comfort zone. It's always telling you mightn't be able to do that, or how are you going to make that happen? That person, we all have that person. Sometimes it's not even your voice. Sometimes it's somebody else's voice. So that's another good question to ask. Whose voice is it? Write that down. And then what is the excuse that they're giving you to stay where you are? To stay bound in this procrastination arena. And when you write that down and you really see it, then I want you to think about your goal statement. And I want you to ask yourself, is this a fair trade? Because that's what you're doing. You're giving up your goals for whatever this excuse is in your mind. And that excuse might be, I'm too tired. What a shame that would be if you went through this life and you never got to achieve all these beautiful desires and visions and goals and purposes that you have and live in you because you were too tired. Man, that would be a real kick in the teeth. And I do not say that to hurt or to send out any sort of negative feeling. If you feel sad or hurt by me saying that, then what you're becoming aware is that you're not in control of your mind. You just let me hurt you. But I didn't hurt you. You allowed an opinion to hurt you. And this is the teachings that we're giving you here, is that our life is going to be subject to our attitude to life. So I've really got to start to ask myself, am I having the thoughts that serve me? Am I having and getting involved in the right emotions? If your feedback is coming back after your review of the first 2 months of this year, and it's not where you want it to be, well, it tells you that you've been consciously and emotionally involved in an idea that is contrary to your goal. That's it. It's actually like, that's just it. It just is what it is. You don't even have to be annoyed at yourself because there's no point. But that's literally, you've got to remember, it's an exact, like, whatever the programming is, whatever the mental programming and conditioning and thinking that you've come through generations, that have been passed down to you, that you've picked up along your way, all those thoughts around money, finances, yourself, that is going to be a direct reflection to this. Always equal and opposite. Cause and effect. You're never going to change it. These universal laws that Bob was explaining today, he says that a thought, an idea that is impressed on the subconscious mind, that is emotionalized, because that's the only way it can move into the subconscious mind, is you entertain the thought, whether it's come from somebody else, whether you've originated. As soon as you get emotionally involved in it and add a bit of heat, boom, it goes into the subconscious mind. But that's not where it ends. I think sometimes we forget that there's another level. As soon, it's like a 3-part process. As soon as you, I'll actually use this wee diagram here. Your senses taking in information, it's coming in, building an idea in your consciousness. Whatever that idea is, whether you've made it up, whether it's truth, whether it's somebody else has made it up, whatever. If you decide that it's true, it'll go straight into here and your subconscious mind won't know the difference. And when you get emotionally involved and it moves into the subconscious mind, because remember, the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. It only deals with feelings. The conscious mind only deals in images. So you should only ever be thinking of image, feeling. What's the image? What's the corresponding feeling? What's the image? What's the corresponding feeling that goes with that image? And then what would the actions I'd be taking? Now, as soon as you have the thought and you emotionalize it, and remember, the universe, the universal laws that govern everything, they're impersonal. So if you get annoyed at an empty bank account, you're seeing in your mind empty bank account, you're getting annoyed about it. That's still an emotion. So you're still charging it. And we forget that. It doesn't just go, oh, look, there's millions. Oh, feel all fluffy about millions, amazing. There we go. Okay, that's great. But are you, maybe you might do that once a day if you're lucky, because the persistence test, we've seen that sometimes we don't do it every day. But I'll tell you what you do every day. Think about what you don't want, get annoyed about it, give it more attention, emotionalize it. And what goes into the subconscious mind must always move into physical form. Always. Now, don't get frightened by that. Don't be afraid of that. Like, there's sometimes people, when you start this material, you kind of become aware that ignorance really was bliss. Who's ever felt that? And you're kind of like, oh, am I going to stop thinking about the thing that I shouldn't be thinking about? Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to get more of it. And I can't stop thinking about it. Anybody ever went through that? Yes. Chill out. Okay. Like, the universe is just having a great giggle at you. Really. Okay. So go light on yourself and go, okay, hold on. You can think a negative thought. I can think a negative thought. I can say right now, I am broke. But I'm not attracting lack, because I'm not emotionally involved in that statement. I can say it all day long. I can think it all day long. But you got to remember, it'll only go in here as soon as you have emotion. So as long as I'm not annoyed about being broke, it's not going to affect me. I'll keep the gates open to abundance because I'm not emotionally involved in the lack. I know there's lack. Like when I had £4.20 in my pocket, there was lack. It was very evident. But I just kept telling myself a different story. I just kept going through these exact same lessons that you're going through, step by step, video by video, exercise by exercise, asking my mentor questions, receiving feedback, skipping the rungs because I was able to tap into somebody who had already done it. That's why Bob said today in Born Rich, only listen to the opinions of people that if you look at their results and you like them and you want them, great, listen to them. But so many people are listening to the opinions of people that no more do you want their results. You don't want their health. You don't want their finances. You don't want their relationships. You don't want their car. You don't want their house. And yet you're allowing them this excuse, whether it's coming from you or whether it's coming from outside of you, an excuse to take all of this away. We cannot let that happen. And of course, you can change that by understanding how to change your attitude, by being persistent. So a couple of things I just want to read here out of the persistence chapter. And let me see. It says that you need 4 things, and this is going to help you with your persistence, with your mental endurance. You've got to remember, being a goal achiever, you're not the norm. You're in a different percentage. 97% of the population don't have goals, aren't going after goals. So you guys are very different, even for you guys listening in. You could be listening to anything, but you're listening to this. That tells me something about you. But it says that there are key things that you're going to need. And there's 4. You need a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. So check in. Do you have a definite purpose that is backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment? Like, again, listen to every word that's used. They don't use words for the fun of it. So it's a definite purpose. It's definite. You know what you want. Now, of course, if you've only just joined, unless you're Christine, because she's definitely definite, but if you've only just joined and you're in lesson 1 or in your first couple of weeks or months, you may not be definite yet. You still may be like, I don't have a goal. That's okay. That's going to come. That's why you're here. But it says a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. So it's not enough to go, oh, I would just love to have more money. Oh, I would love to have, like, you can't just, you got to ask yourself, have you actually taken your goal out of the fantasy stage? For all of my clients here, think about the creative process in lesson 1, the triangle, fantasy theory fact. You can't move out of fantasy until you have actually made a decision that you're going to do this. Maybe if you look back at what you achieved in February, because I asked you at the start of February, set your intentions with your goal achieving activities. What is your milestone? If you didn't hit that, really ask yourself, when I was on this call at the start of February, did you actually make a committed decision you were going to see it to its fulfillment? Or was it a wish and a hope? Because Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Earl Nightingale, Kim Calvert are all saying wishing and hoping is not going to cut it. Now, what does cut it? Belief. How do we create belief where there isn't one maybe to achieve this outcome? Well, it's through the repetition of the study and the application and taking action. It's everything that we're teaching you throughout these lessons. Number 2, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. So now you want to check in and go, do I have a definite plan? Now, again, if you are doing what I've taught you to do and you've went in and you've used the resources and tools that I've created you that run alongside Thinking into Results, and you've got that 90-day planner and you've broke it down into the segments that I've advised you, you're going to have a definite plan. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of you are going to question whether it's the definite plan. You'll never know if it is the definite plan. Do you know why? There is nobody in this universe or world knows how to achieve a goal until they've achieved it. So you're always wondering right up until that second you've achieved your goal, is this the right plan? Now, I didn't say that you're always doubting it. You're just always kind of waiting to see from the feedback. And then when you get the goal, you go, that was the right plan. Great. But remember, you're course correcting the rest of the time. You're feeling your way through the creation process. Everything's already created in the first instance. Your job is to vibrationally align with it and intuitively take action on the ideas that you become aware of. That's why it said one of the symptoms of lack of persistence is not taking action on ideas that you've become aware of. Well, I mean, that's just really silly, guys, if anyone's doing that, because you all paid and invested in you to come into a personal development, high performance program to be the bigger, expansive expression of yourselves. You're all writing it every day. Well, here's the thing. If the universe has delivered ideas and you're not taking receipt of them and putting them into action, the universe is going to kind of just sit on the bench and wait on you. And you can write all you want that I'm so happy and grateful and I've got all these millions and I'm doing wonderful. The universe will go, yeah, well, you do have that. It's in your vibrational bank account, but I'm sorry, you just haven't put in the right chip and pin. You haven't lined up to the frequency to deposit it in your physical bank account. It's all there in a vibrational bank account. There's no limit. You are absolutely, totally tapped into infinite energy. All the money that ever was and ever will be is already here. in this physical form, but you've got to do things to bring it to you. That's what we're teaching here. You can attract everything to you. And yet we spend so much of our days trying to go and get things. I need to get clients. I need to get customers. I need to do this. I need to get more fit. Like, stop getting. That's really exhausting. Why not just sit back and go, I'm expectant? Because everything I do, everything I touch turns to gold. It doesn't cost anything to say that. And if you say it enough times, you'll believe it. And when you believe it, you become it. When you become it, then you'll be able to have, and then you'll be able to give. It says it's expressed in continuous action. So point 2 was a definite plan expressed in continuous action. So it doesn't say, okay, make the plan and then sit back and look at the plan, or rearrange the plan, or talk about the plan, or get sticky notes about the plan, or any of that stuff. Make presentations about the plan. No, get to work. Take continuous action. What have I always said about success? Success comes by compounded consistency in action. Learning this process. It's action, reaction, action, reaction. It's why I've designed all of the tools that I've given you in terms of the mental work and then the actions you got to take. When they run parallel, you're going to be in so much harmony. You're going to just, things are just going to open up for you. It's just going to be easy. It's going to be flow. It's going to be joyous. You're going to actually probably come and ask me, Kim, is it supposed to be this easy? I think it was Gabriella asked that on Thursday. Yeah, it really can be that easy if we would just get out of our own way. Okay, so it's continuous action. I want you to not let your foot off the gas in this last month. I want you to prove to yourself, and you don't have to prove to yourself. That's probably a really bad use of words, but I want you to show yourself what you're capable of. But in order to do that, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to stretch. You got to go beyond where you've went before. Always coming from past experiences, but creating something entirely new. These next 30 days haven't happened for anybody in the universe yet. So nobody knows what's going to happen. What's going to happen for you? You decide. There was a phenomenal line that I wrote down today that I think it was Bob or maybe it was John passed on about Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale was Bob's mentor. And of course, you guys in Ignite are studying the Lead the Field program with Earl and Bob. But it says here, the world is a reflection of your own mental attitude towards self. So your world, your reality, the feedback that you're getting is a reflection of your own mental attitude of yourself. So if you want something outside of you to change, you've got to figure out what is it inside you that needs to change. Now that means you got to take responsibility. And there's a lot of people don't want to take responsibility. It's easier to go, well, no, it's the economy. No, it's Facebook ads. That's why my business is not working. Load of rubbish, guys, because my business is booming and we don't really use ads. Well, what did you do before Facebook ads? I mean, we hide behind these things these days. It's ridiculous. But what did you do before it? What are we going to do after it? Because they're not always going to be there and they're not working very well at the moment. What are old strategies that have maybe served you in the past that are no longer going to sustain or be suitable for the new model that you're building? Remember, we're always creating a new model, which makes the old model obsolete. If you want to create a new life, you got to create a new thinking. You got to create a new paradigm around this. And I just love the way he said, it is our own mental attitude towards ourselves. That means taking responsibility. For anybody listening here on any platform, I want you to think about what could you take responsibility of this week? Because this is one of the lessons that Bob taught me on how to move forward. Now, when you go to a mentor or you go to a business coach or you go to somebody to help you, you don't usually expect them, when you're talking about earning more money or multiplying time and effectiveness and all of this kind of stuff, you don't expect them to go, okay, take responsibility of more stuff. It sounds contrary. You're kind of like, but no, I'm too busy. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying take more responsibility and do more things. I want everyone to take just a little time, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, and ask themselves, everything that's going on in my life, is it my responsibility? Or am I taking on responsibility for maybe somebody else's stuff, problems, situations? You can only take responsibility for your own attitude. If somebody else is annoyed and then you get annoyed, you can't blame them for annoying you. Sorry to anybody who blames their husband or wife for annoying them or whatever. No, I'm so sorry. When you have awareness and understanding, you start to realize you let yourself get annoyed. And the more that we stop blaming or being in that, what we would call a victim mode, and I use that word lightly, but it is that I can't do this. I'm wanting to show you that if you would just let go of that, blaming others or governments or pandemics or economy or stocks and shares, whatever it is, when you just stop blaming your results, which are outside of you, on other outside things, you're going to literally just waken up. Because everything happens from the inside to the outside. Earl said, the world is a reflection of your own mental attitude. Your attitude is your thoughts, feelings, and actions in alignment. So how you see the world is how the world's going to see you. If you want to change something that you're seeing in your world, what can you change inside you? That was one of the greatest lessons and memories that I had of Bob. I've shared this story many times when I was having lunch with him in LA and I was giving off and judging and just blaming my parents at the time. I'm going on, they don't understand, and this and this and this and this. And I've probably done it all my life. I was in the habit of it. I didn't consciously ask myself, I'm going to go and sit with Bob Proctor at lunch and I'm going to consciously just give off about my mom and dad. Like, that wasn't on my agenda. I mean, I didn't even want to go anywhere near those topics, but when you have lunch with Bob, these things happen. I went into habit. And this is the great thing about having a mentor and Bob being mine, was he just knew what to say to make me go blah, 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 blah. Right? Like, you guys know when we're on a hot seat Q&A, which is 2 hours of me working with you back and forwards, you know, I'm able to go up. Now, there was where we could change that. Did you catch that? You guys are so good at now going, oh, I just heard that. I've got it. And once you got it, you've got it. Now, I know that sometimes doesn't make sense, but think about when you started to learn 2 + 2 = 4. There was a time when the teacher said that and you didn't get it. Now, it took me a wee bit longer to get it. But there's a time when suddenly you went, oh, it's 4. You can't forget that. You're not going to lose awareness. You may, temporarily forget things, but awareness is awareness. Okay? So really think about your attitude. Now, last 2 points, and I'm going to fly through them because we're nearly going over time. Number 3, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. So if you're going to really work on your persistence, you're not only going to need a definite purpose backed by a burning desire to its fulfillment, but you're going to need a plan. This is where you whip out the 90-day plan. You work reverse engineer back. Now, as you're now moving forward on this, as you close out this first quarter, you have got to have a mind that is closed tightly against all negative or discouraging influences. You cannot go after and expect to achieve your goal whilst thinking and listening to all the reasons why you can't achieve your goal. Now, this is what really separates the professionals from the amateurs, because it's not always easy to shut out the outside world, to shut off those senses that you're so conditioned to being led by in life. My goodness, we have higher mental faculties that allow us to create anything, to see anything in our mind and hold it in our hand. Anything. We're only limited by poverty of imagination and lack of attention. So the bigger the idea, the bigger the result. The bigger the idea, the bigger the income. I'll never forget when Bob said that one time. Somebody asked him, well, how would I make more money? Get a bigger idea. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that so makes sense. And I love it because ideas are free. But you need to know how to use your higher mental faculties and mindset to take those thoughts, turn it into an idea, and then move it into physical form. That's the process. That's what we're doing here. It's all good to know how the laws work and, goals and all this. That's all great. You need to know the process. Now, I digressed. I was at lunch with Bob. I was telling you about this lesson in blame and responsibility. So there was me giving off to Bob, spewing out, blaming my parents. And again, he did it in a one-liner. I'm like, oh, this guy is good. And he says, you're no better than them. Or he said, what's the difference between you and them? That's what he said. I thought he said that because that's pretty much what he said. And he says, what's the difference? Now think about this. There was me sitting with Bob Proctor, verbalizing, being very emotionally involved in an idea, and that idea that I was conveying to his mind through my words, gestures, and actions was, this is unfair. I am in an injustice here. These people are not, blah, blah, blah. Judge, judge, judge. And I didn't know that. I was just going, yeah, and how many times have you, even in this week, got into a conversation and you've started to agree and almost you're now wrapped up in going, I know, and did you hear this? I know, and we grew it. If you find yourself in those conversations, you need to get a new peer group. Okay? Trust me in that. All right. Now, at that table, when he said that, what he reflected back to me was that I was receiving exactly what I was putting out. I was annoyed that my parents were annoyed at me. So think about it. I was annoyed. So the image in the mind is parents and right? What came with that storyline? I mean, that wasn't the story, but that's the feeling, right? That's the feeling that was going on in here. Frustration, annoyance. And that's a negative vibration. What Bob taught today says, when you feel rubbish or you feel frustrated or annoyed, it means you've become consciously aware that you're in a negative vibration. And when you're in a negative vibration or a positive vibration, it always moves to and through form. So the key is to catch it here. But what Bob was saying to me was, Kim, you're holding this image of your parents. You're annoyed at them. You're so annoyed you're even telling me. And what you're receiving back every time you go home is exactly what you're seeing in your mind, which is they're annoying you and they're giving off and they're doing this and they're judging. Well, when I went home, my energy, my vibration was judge, 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 right? So guess what came back to me? Judge, judge, judge. Now, who's to blame if you want to place blame? my thinking. Now, we don't place blame because you don't know what you don't know. This is the beauty of awareness. I didn't know that until he told me it. Then I became aware of it and went, oh. And then I went, so hold on. You're telling me if I just do the opposite and I start to see them in a loving way, in a way that there's harmonious relations, in a way that there's blah, 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 that when I go, that's what's going to happen? Yeah. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. Now, this works in every situation. Family, spouses, kids, life, things. It's not just with people. Like, I want everyone to think about this right now. What is the attitude? What is the image that you're holding about your business? Or about this next week? Or about this next month? Or even this first 60 days? Are you trying to move forward into the next 30 days, holding on to the vibration of the last 60 and why it didn't work? That's why I say, do not become emotional about the result, because a lot of people will go, oh, it's been a terrible start of the year and things just didn't go the way. I mean, things are really different now. Things are really difficult. Well, that person's not going to do well in the last month. But here's the thing. There are people in this world that are going to earn in this next month, earn money in this next month that might take you 10 years to earn. So don't tell me that it's not possible, because the money is there. All the money, there's no end to the money in the world, but it goes to the person that is magnetized their mind to attract it. And you can't think lack and attract abundance. And yet, I've heard it, and I'm sure you've heard it. Things are really difficult. Inflation, all this other stuff. I'm not saying that stuff's not happening. I'm not saying that I'm being ignorant and naive and going, la, 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 forget the world. I mean, I kind of am to an extent. It's more like this. But I decide, does that thought serve me? If it does, great, I take it. If the thought does not serve me, does not move me towards my goal, is not in harmony with the outcome that I want, then I disregard the thought. I create a new idea. An idea that's going to help me change my perception, because as Bob says, the only problem that we have is ignorance, lack of understanding. If you knew how to earn in the next month what it might take you normally to earn 10 years, well, you'd do it, wouldn't you? Of course you would. I didn't know how to earn what I earn, or I'd have been doing it a long time ago. I didn't know how to earn what I earned this week, even last year. Because you're always growing, and you'll only grow to the size of what you have actually decided in the first instance with your imagination. This is why I say that's the only thing that limits you. If you can see it in your mind, you're always going to hold it in your hand. Always. But you've got to persist in holding it in your mind. And then the very last one, you need a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both the plan and the purpose. Now, for you guys here, you have it inside this Dynamite Lifestyle community. We have it. This is why we created the monthly masterminds. It's why we structure our teachings so that you have morning sessions together, lunchtime sessions together, masterminding together. You need people in your life that are going to support you and lift you up when you need it, because you will need it. Somebody was saying about there's been bumpy roads. Yeah. But what served that person? Getting connected with the truth, getting connected with this material. Because when you have understanding, you realize I don't have to accept the bumpy road. I can create a different way. I can change the way I look at this bumpy road. And I'm just using that as an example, but when you have a friendly alliance, which is necessary, remember, these are the necessary steps to induce faith. So if you're somebody who's been thinking, Kim, and it doesn't matter whether you're a client or whether you're not, I mean, everybody should be wanting to develop more faith because your goal should be stretched, right? The bigger the goal, the more faith you're going to want to develop. Okay, that's why I love growing my faith and understanding, because then it just expands what is possible for me. And really, it just expands my perception of what is possible for me, because everything's possible for me. Everything's possible for you. So I could probably go on for another wee while. I'm getting very excited on this call. I feel the energy on this call. I feel Bob's presence on this call. And I am telling you now, when you stick to these teachings, to the raw science, you cannot lose. You don't need courses after courses. You don't need to read and buy every single book that everybody spouts off. You don't need to attend webinars after webinars. Get locked into one thing. I'm even saying this to you guys too here as my clients. Get locked into this next month. Get locked in to committing that 90-day goal that you set. It is not too late. You can do more in these next 30 days, but you got to decide. You've got to be committed, and you've got to want to do it to the fulfillment. All right. So thank you for being here tonight. For all of my clients, I will very exciting news to release to you on Thursday. We may have another dynamite live event coming up. I know, I'm very excited. Let me just put you all on gallery. There you go. And yeah, we're going to announce the dates of our next meetup, hopefully this week. So that will be awesome. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for everybody who's been tuning in all over the world. Guess what, guys? I'll tell you a win for me. This is so awesome. As Bob sat in Maplewood Lane with a pen saying that he wanted to start a company all over the world, well, tonight, well, not just tonight, but the whole week, the tribute is streaming into 74 of those countries. So not only Bob did he fulfill his goal and get into every country in the world, I'm just trying to race him to it. And he did it, but he has now also helped people just like me and many others around the world go and do it as well. So that's the multiplication of oneness. It's just so awesome. So everybody wave and say goodbye to everybody around the world. It has been good to be here. Thank you so much. And we will be back across the rest of the week. Take care.